Hi, and thank you so much for joining me today for another process video. And once again, if you watched my video from Friday, you will have heard me talking about this page. It is another one for the Scrapbook Challenge UK group on Facebook. I'll leave the link in the description box down below. And one of the prompts was to use yellow squares. And I had quite a few yellow squares left over from the layout that I created for Friday's video. So this is what I've got here. And I'm just building up a mat behind my photo, and I will add some of those onto foam pads in due course, but this is just another fun way of using scraps on your page. So you can see I'm just building them up. I've got a 4x6 portrait photo. This is of Amelia and myself in St Mark's Square in Venice. We were on a cruise, well, the whole family were on a cruise, and I was taking a selfie of myself really to show Amelia, being a little photographer, taking photos with her camera, but she didn't want me to take a photo of her, so I had to do it this way instead. So I wanted to document this photo. I have got all this holiday in a Project Life album, but sometimes it's fun to get some of the memorable moments in your 12x12 albums as well. So that's what I'm doing. So you can see here, I'm happy with the positioning of all the squares. So now I've got the fun task of trying to peel them up and add adhesive. Like I say, I know I want to add foam to some of those squares to create some texture, dimension and shadowing on the page. I don't want to distress the edges this time. I did that on the last layout, and I want the pages to look relatively different in my books. So this is another technique which is great fun, using foam and creating dimension on the page. So the pieces that I know that are going flat to the page, I'm just gluing down. I'm just peeling the edge back and gluing down using my ATG. And then the other pieces I am adding the foam and trying to put them back as I go. Now some of them I do miss, and then I can't remember where they were going, and then I move the photo and everything goes a little bit wrong at this point, but I do rescue it. It does look slightly different from how I laid it out initially, but I'm thrilled with the final layout, so I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? I think I get fixated on building the background and then I must have it exactly the same, and it really doesn't matter. Nobody would know, as long as the final layout looks good. I just need to let that go a little bit more, I think. So I'm just bringing in my T-square at some points just to check that everything's straight, but they're fairly close to the edges of the page, so it's fairly easy to see whether they're straight or not. It's only when things are in the centre that I struggle with getting things straight, really. So you can see that one's been added onto foam. Some of them are flat. It tends to be the smaller ones on the whole that I added to foam, but I did add some of the bigger pieces to foam that went underneath the photo. So I just made sure that the gap behind the photo also had foam in it. You'll see how I do that shortly, just so that everything is raised up to the same level. So this is where I started going a bit wrong. There was a big gap there that I was trying to hide. So I was pulling things up and trying to work out where to put them, and then moving them back over because I felt everything was too far to the left. But just messing and fiddling, and I get there in the end. Like I say, it's probably not exactly as it was when I laid it out, but I'm really happy with the layout at the end. So just adding a bit more adhesive to that square just to make sure it's down. And then I need to bring in some washi tape because that's another one of the prompts. So far I've got the colour yellow and the shape squares. So washi tape is the embellishment that they want us to use this week. So again, I've pulled in the same two black washi tapes that I used on that video on Friday. And I've also got this gorgeous white one with black hearts, which I'm going to add along the bottom. And I love creating these L shapes or T shapes on my pages, just for somewhere for the photo to be anchored. So just adding this piece underneath, but then I decide I do want it overlapping that heart piece, so I'll just lift that up and pop it down again. And I'm pretty sure it's off camera on this video. I do glue those down with some wet adhesive because washi doesn't stay long term, so you're always better adding your own adhesive to it if you want it as a feature on the layout so it doesn't curl up. So this wood word says spectacular, And this is one of the new wood title builders that we've got at Hey Little Magpie. I've got a new laser machine and I am creating lots of wooden titles and I'm thrilled with them. So expect to see a lot of those in my layouts in the future. But this one is a title builder because it's one that you can add to. So each pack has 2 words in it. I think this pack has spectacular and splendid. So I'm going to use that as part of my title that will say Spectacular St Mark's Square. So I'll bring in one of my other alphabets to add the rest of the title now. I had this little square here and I was just wondering where to add it, and I decided to add it on the right hand side there, and I'm really pleased that I did because it balances the layout out so well by adding that there. So I'm going to glue this title down. It is going over 2 pieces of paper that have foam pads on them, but that's not an issue. They're close enough together and it barely hangs over either end, so it works just fine. And then I'm leaving enough space between that and the photo to add the rest of the title. So I've got this Simple Stories sticker book. If you watch my previous video, I was talking about how I'm trying to be more mindful about choosing some alphabets and stickers to use on each of my layouts now, because I've got a glut of them. I think we don't finish off our sticker books and stickers and they just build up, don't they? So I'm trying to be much better at using them each time I create. So this is the one that I chose today, and I'm just using the little alphabet within it to write out St Mark's Square. Now the last 2 letters, the R and the E, we're going to hang off the edge of the paper that had the foam pad behind it. So I'm just matting these onto some white cardstock just to give them a bit of rigidity, and then I'm adding some foam squares behind that so that it's up the same level as the rest of the writing. The word saint is actually flat on the page, it's not raised up, but the rest of it is up on a piece of paper that's got the foam on it. So I just wanted to make sure that those 2 letters continued. So back through the sticker book just to see if there's anything else, and I find a little word phrase that says treasured moments, so I'm going to add that across the photo and across that paper. Again, that one's raised up, and then another one that says be you, because it's Amelia that I'm focusing on in this story. So I then go into this Heidi Swap sticker book, another one that I pulled out to try and use today, and spotted this little arrow. It is green, but it's a very dark green, and Mealy's got a green top on. It's a gorgeous little outfit that we found at Monsoon for her in the sale. I did love that outfit. So that works really nicely. And then I've added a gold heart to that, and then just for continuity, I've added a gold heart at the start of the St Mark's Square title. So these again are some wood pieces that we sell at Hey Little Magpie. These are the bits and pieces and they're wooden sunglasses. So I'm adding those just to balance out the wood that I've got on the left. I wanted to bring some over to the right, and I've got my not my sunglasses, but I've got my glasses on, so I thought they would work nicely. And then just a couple of the embroidered flowers that we sell, again in yellows, just to keep in with the rest of the layout. And then I spotted this little seagull, and that works anywhere where you're near water, they're there, aren't they? So I just thought I'd add that to that top left corner. It's just white on white, so it's very subtle, but I really like the look of that. And of course a tag so that I can add my date. So this is one of the craft tags that I've just got a little set of them that I sit and punch and have on my desk. Another ribbon loop. I had a ribbon loop on the previous layout. I think it's the same ribbon actually. I love this black gingham. So just adding that to the right there, just underneath the arrow. And then some foam pads just to hold this tab up to the same level as the photo. And then I'll glue the base down onto the photo and use my roller date stamp to add the date. So that was the 30th May 2016. And we were only in Venice for a few hours. We were on a cruise, Thompson cruise. It was fabulous. We had 2 weeks, and so we got to show the kids Venice, which was fun. And we were there nice and early, so we got to St Mark's before the rest of the tourists descended, so that was great. So now the last thing to add for the challenge is splatters. So I'm just going to add some splatters with the black soot distress oxide, just with a very fine brush. And I get it all over my photo because I was too lazy to grab some scrap card to cover it up. So I do reprint the photo, peel back those sunglasses and letters, phrase stickers so that I can replace the photo. Well, I just glue another one on top. I found that the easiest way to do it. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.